Hey everyone, it's Ten Types, and Black Bolt and White Flare recently came out in the Pokemon TCG, and now that they've been played a bit more, we've seen the World Championships, which is obviously a pretty big tournament, as well as people just playing with them in a wide variety of different ways. I think we now have a better idea of what's been good and bad from the new set. Also, today I want to talk about what's been good and bad so far, as well as what will be good and bad going into the future of the Pokemon TCG, and cards that may be underexplored as well. Also, sorry, I am a little under the weather. It's not hopefully too bad, but sorry if my voice is a little funny. And also, there may be some background noise because there's some stuff going on outside. So hopefully that's not an issue. But let's start taking a look at the cards here that are like quote competitive. So if we look at sets, I really should know the terminology for Limitless better here. But from Black Bolt, White Flare, and the competitive cards, we see that there are not that many cards, right? There's only 16 cards here. We have some Pokemon and some trainers. So we have Jellicent EX and Genesect EX is the two main EXs here. Jellicent EX here, if it's in the active, item locks your opponent, and then it does some damage, right? This has been played within Gardevoir EX. Some decks that have been more focused around the Jellicent EX, and then some that have been more focused or like less focused around Jellicent EX, but still like playing it. And also the Frillish, the basic. Not going to be talking about previous evolutions too much, but Frillish does item lock your opponent for only one Psychic and does 20. So it's a decent card as well, kind of like a Badoo replacement, I guess. Kind of how you could look at it. It's a similar card within Gardevoir. Obviously, within other decks, it's very different. Within Gardevoir, it's not the same either. Overall, though, I think Jellicent EX is obviously it's pretty good in Gardevoir. It's not insane though. I'd say it's kind of where I expected it, as it's like all right. And speaking of Gardevoir EX and the future of Gardevoir EX, of course, not post rotation because I actually recently recorded and I think posted already a video on it, and yeah, it's rotating. But before that, there will be Mega Gardevoir EX, which is another Pokemon that, in my opinion, kind of competes for a similar slot as Jellicent EX, as like these multi-prize evolution attacking Pokemon. And Jellicent EX is more for a slower game, and then Gardevoir EX is a Pokemon that, or Mega Gardevoir EX is aiming at taking one shots. Jellicent is not, right? So Jellicent EX, though, I think is all right in Gardevoir. It's not amazing. And its future without Gardevoir after Gardevoir rotates, I don't really know what that'll look like. I think it's okay, but you need 4 energies to do 160, which is pretty bad. So it is technically usable, but I'm not a big fan of it post Gardevoir's rotation. And even in standard right now, I think it's okay. We can kind of look at as the meta's developed, it's been like played a little bit less, I guess. These aren't amazing results here, but if we look at the decks being played online here, we see that Gardevoir is actually it's like a bit of a mess, right? But we see Gardevoir Jellicent is lower here than regular Gardevoir. Regular Gardevoir does play some Jellicents though sometimes, so it's kind of weird. But anyways, Jellicent EX is solid. It's gotten a lot of talk as well. Maybe the most talked about card from the two sets. I'm not sure, but it's been talked about a lot. Then we have the new Genesect EX as well. Genesect EX is very good. It's a card that I guess I underrated a little when I first saw it. I thought it was okay because you don't need like too many Metal Evolutions in the Metal Evolution decks. That being said, you want multiple Goldengos within Goldengo. And on top of that, it's Nest Ball searchable, which turns your Nest Balls, I've kind of said into Ultra Balls, but it's like even better than that, allowing you to get, your evolutions with a Nest Ball. And then also you could get them with Ultra Ball directly. So it like increases your versatility within the deck for search options, which is really good, and increases your consistency then for that. So Genesect EX here is a very, very solid card. It's not insane in terms of like it's not the most unique or exciting card, but it is definitely good here within Goldengo specifically. But I imagine I think Arcaludon would play it as well, or any other Metal Evolution deck here. And it is very good with Goldengo. It like synergizes really well there, so definitely a very, very solid card, though again not super flashy here. Then we come to Electric, I think is the next best Pokemon here. Electric here is a Pokemon that accelerates lightning from your discard to your bench Pokemon. And looking here, we see it's grouped in with Limitless with the old Electric, which is like kind of the same. I mean, it's pretty much the same. I think they're technically different. I mean, they have different regulation marks. But anyways, Electric here is a card that is obviously good for Lightning Energy Acceleration. In Standard, you look at the Lightning decks, we have Miraidon. Well, I guess like both Lightning decks are like Miraidon, focus kind of. The one's more so with electric, which is like you can look at its win rate. Win rate is not everything, but this is not good. So I don't know. I think it's like it's not great, right? The deck has some issues. It's not super strong, and electric is kind of vulnerable to like bench damage as well, and also not just electric, but if you look at the decks, I think it's yeah, they're going to be playing the new Dynamo as well. Wait, is this the only Dynamo? I don't think so. But I think the other Dynamo, yeah, they're pretty much the same. The one that's free retreat, that's better, but it doesn't have 30 HP. 40 HP though is still pretty bad, right? Um, Overall though, I think there is a future for this deck. Obviously not with Miraidon post rotation. This isn't just post rotation, but with the new Mega Electric EX, I think Mega Electric EX plus Electric is a very solid combo there. And then you also have Joltik Box. I do kind of like Electric as an idea in Joltik Box because if you know me, I don't like Joltik Box in the late game with its somewhat sketchy access to energies, especially when you're looking to play boss or like Arven on your turn, right? You can't use Crispin, and then you need energies, and Electric can do that, though it is like a single prizer, and there are some things that aren't so good about that, but ultimately I kind of like it there. So I do think there is a future for Electric in the game, but also the types of Pokemon it synergizes with generally aren't going to be the types of Pokemon that are at the top of the meta. You look at them, they don't hit for the highest damage, the highest, they don't have the highest HP. They are basics. They're more consistent, but they have like a lower ceiling, I guess. I mean, not that Iron Hands EX hasn't been good, or any of these three X's haven't been good, but they haven't. I don't know. I feel like you look at stuff like Iron Hands and Miraidon, and they're more fast. They're more aggressive, but then they can stall out, and so I think Electric it doesn't quite have the future you're looking for there. Then we come to the next card, the next EX here, the last EX that's quote competitive, which is Reshiram EX. This has been played a little bit apparently in this deck. And yeah, Reshiram EX is fine. I guess I'll talk about Zekrom EX here as well. So Zekrom EX is a card that has been played with the Lightning Box stuff, right? They are pretty much the same card here. They do damage for they're basic attackers, right? You kind of know what they look like. They are 3 energies, they do decent damage, and they get stronger as the game goes on as well. Ultimately, they are pretty solid cards here, but they're not super flashy again either. If you're playing a toolbox deck of the types that they are, then, you could get value out of them. They're not amazing, though. They're all right. I mean, there's a reason we're not seeing these cards see tons of play. I mentioned this when I was talking about Mega Electric post-rotation, where you have Zekrom EX and you also have the Manectric EX, Mega Manectric EX, and between those two, you might have enough for a full deck. Reshiram EX is you can just play in more of a very toolboxy style deck with the Armarouge and the Ho-Oh and stuff. So then you can use a wide variety of different attackers here. Reshiram EX I think fits a little better into the deck as just a one of there versus Zekrom being a bit more of a build around, especially when you're losing Iron Hands, right? And you're also losing you're losing Iron Hands in Miraidon. But again, like without those, or no, sorry, with those pre-rotation, it's still it's all right. I think there is something there. It's not like an amazing deck, but it's okay. Then we also look at the last Pokemon here, which is Elgyem. Elgyem's actually pretty interesting here. I think there's some other control cards from this set. So Elgyem here is played. Okay, apparently it's been played in Dragapult. It's also been played in I think it's Spidops is the deck. Yeah, I think where is this deck? That's not the first part. Okay, here it is. So we got Spidops. The Spidops here plays a bunch of weird things. Oh, this does not play the Elgyem, but it does play Cubchoo as well. This is a Pokemon, another control Pokemon from the new set, which allows you to stop your opponent from attacking next turn, which is pretty interesting for only 1 water, which I do like. Elgyem here is another disruptive Pokemon, letting you move energies around your opponent's board, just one, but it essentially removes it from the board most of the time, unless they're playing something like Armarouge. But the reason that this card is good is it's it's cheap, and it's also a card that allows you to disrupt on a basic single prizer, so it's cheap in attack cost and setup. So overall, LGM, Cubchoo as well are really interesting. They're Buddy Buddy Pop and searchable. Also, they are recoverable using Alomomola. Alomomola is a card here that allows you to let me get to the non-competitive cards, but we see that there's like Alomomola from this set, which recovers your basic Pokemon with 7 HP or less, which is the Buddy Buddy Poffin searchable Pokemon. So that's really nice there. Getting LGM, Cubchoo. There's Dedenne as well. Dedenne is not new, but it is a card that allows you to recover. It's a very solid control card. I haven't really played too much control or really much control at all in this format. There's also Mimikyu as well. I will mention that, which is 70 HP or less. That is not new at all, but that's good. It's also different. It's like you don't want it being knocked out a lot. If it's being knocked out a lot, then recovering it probably won't do very much for you. Oh, I will also mention this list is playing Ethan Sudowoodo. Ethan Sudowoodo has been seeing more play as a trapping Pokemon here, kind of like it's not like Cubchoo. It has some similarities. Cubchoo's trapping a Pokemon that, or is like going against your opponent's main attacker to stop him from attacking. Ethan Sudowoodo is attacking support Pokemon to stop them attacking. But anyways, Ethan Sudowoodo does not have 70 HP or less, but the I'm blanking on the name. Well, there's Totodile. There's Nacli. Yeah, there we go. Nacli as well. Nacli is a similar Pokemon. I played with Nacli a bit. It's obviously older than Ethan Sudowoodo. Ethan Sudowoodo, I guess, better. But anyway, so do want to talk about some control. There are some like decent control cards in this set. I think those are really the main ones. Also, let me see all these cards here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm blanking on that is a control card from this set. I mean, there's like Crustle. That's not that good. And yeah, there's Mandibuzz as well. Mandibuzz I do still like, allowing you to trap or like get your opponent's Pokemon into play to trap or something like that. And also lets you look at their hand. I do like Mandibuzz. I played with it a little bit. It's okay. It's not amazing. It's like a bit committal, but it is kind of fun here as well. I guess there is also for control. There's Caracosta, which well, special energy, it's like kind of a control card, but not really. We'll talk about that a bit more in a second here. But then we have some trainers. There's not too much to break down with the trainers. Obviously, Research and Pokegear, not much to say there. Oh, and Energy Retrieval apparently in this set as well. They are reprints of cards that are already in the standard format. That being said, they are obviously good. Then we have Air Balloon, which is very good. Reduced retreat cost by 2 colorless. I thought Air Balloon was going to be good. It's been maybe even better than I thought it was going to be. It's like a staple. It's like a replacement of Rescue Board. Because it's essentially objectively better, and Rescue Board was already pretty good, right? So this card is very, very nice here, and then it's being played in more decks like Gholdengo, right? You see it very good, very powerful in Gholdengo. I think Gholdengo is the deck where it's actively, I'd say, amazing. In the other decks, it's it's good, but it's not crazy. Tool Scrapper, I thought was going to be I think a little better than it has been. Not that it's been a bad card, but it's been like okay so far. Removing tools from your opponent's board. People have been playing a lot more Jamming Tower. I do still like Tool Scrapper because it is Arven searchable. That being said, Tool Scrapper is like it. Tool Jammer Jamming Tower can stop your opponent's tools before they hit the board, which could be useful, or not. Right, your opponent could bump it, so you could get like almost no value off of it. And Jamming Tower is also a stadium bump, so that could be more useful. I do still like Tool Scrapper, though, and I'd be shocked if it doesn't have a more substantial meta impact at some point, assuming we get like okay tools, right? If all the tools are bad, then obviously Tool Scrapper isn't very good. It'd also be cool to see Tool Scrapper's utility to discard your own tools. That's pretty niche to be a meaningful part of a deck. It can be used, I'd say it is used in maybe 1% of your games. It can be useful, maybe even less than that. It's like pretty niche, but will happen sometimes. I imagine most people throughout its time in standard here will end up using it to discard one of their own tools at one point or another, but ultimately, again, it's pretty niche. Then there is Sharon's like a draw 3. That's also a reprint. But Brave Bangle increases damage done to non-EXs, done to EXs by non-EXs is interesting here. It's like a little situational. It's good in Ethan's, I guess, and what is this? Okay, this is a single. This is like Ancient Box. I don't know why it's called Roaring Moon to Dunsparce. That's kind of weird. But then in like any single price deck, it's good. Not too much to break down there, but it is good in those decks unless they remove EXs. And then we also have Hilda. Hilda is a supporter that searches for evolutions and energies. This has been very strong with the Dragapult EX specifically, with Neo Upper Energy, and also with Luminous Energy, and also with evolutions, right? Dracloak and Dragapult EX, and like Dustor as well. So very, very strong there. Getting a lot of value. Dracloak is a draw piece. Dragapult is your main attacker. Dusclops and Dustor are actual just straight up damage. And then your energies are they're energies, right? They're not going to be extra value like Jet Energy could be extra value, but you're not playing that obviously in Dragapult. And then The other energies are good, but the new upper energy is hard to find, so Hilda is very, very nice here. I'd say it's impressed me a little more. Been a little better than I was expecting. Obviously, synergists very well with one specific deck with new upper energy, so as Dragapult falls off at some point, I mean Dragapult will rotate before Hilda, so it'll definitely fall off at that point, obviously, but I imagine it'll slow down at some point. That's generally how these things work. But then it will be worse. I don't remember when Neo Upper Energy rotates. It might be before. I believe it is before Dragapult. So if that's the case, wait, let me check. Neo Upper Energy rotates. No, it doesn't. So it'll rotate with Dragapult, but we'll kind of see how good Hilda stays. If it becomes even better, if we get better special energies, and what the evolutions will look like in the metagame as well. But anyways, Hilda definitely very solid here. There's also this Harlequin that's not so good. There is Prism Energy as well. Prism Energy is a card here that allows you to get energy of any type on basic, so that's kind of fun there. Then we haven't seen it too much though. We see it's like a reprint, so we've seen it in older decks. It'll see some play. It's fine. It's kind of like Luminous, but I did want to mention it here. But then look at the non-competitive cards, which are a little more interesting in my opinion. You got Volcarona, a single parser that burns. This is a card that I think is going to be very good with the new, or potentially very good with the new Mega Camerupt EX. There is also Volcanion EX, so those are competing with each other, but they both are still pretty interesting. Then there is the Tortuga. I am still keeping an eye on Tortuga. I think it's pretty underrated, allowing you to go ahead and do damage based on items in your opponent's discard pile. This can be very good. I'd say right now in the metagame, items are okay. I mean, they're not bad by any means. They are still important for deck setting up, but also they're not as important as they have been at some points. Tortuga is a fossil evolution as well. Oh, it evolves from nothing, apparently, it says here. But it's definitely, it's something to keep an eye out for. And there's the Carracosta that walls special energy. There's also another Carracosta increasing damage. So I do think there is something legitimately there with Tortuga. I would not be surprised if it ends up becoming good at some point. I don't think it's guaranteed to become good at some point, but I think I don't know if I'd say very likely, but I think it is very plausible at the very least. And it could be legitimately regarded as a very good card at some point in the game. Then we have, let's see, anything else crazy? Meloetta EX, I do still like for its turn one attack. I don't know if it will become good, but it is a very interesting card here that could be very good, potentially, or could just be kind of silly and niche and situational, but I do still like it as a card. Then there's let's see, N-Splot's okay, I guess. It's a mediocre supporter. There's some other mediocre support Pokemon. Emboar is interesting here. I've heard a little bit of talk with it about it with Mega Charizard EX, or no, Mega Charizard X EX from the second Mega set, the last set of the year. It could be good there. I don't think it's going to be good there though because you have the Oricorio EX. But did want to mention it. It's kind of interesting. Would not be shocked if it's good. Would not be shocked if it's never particularly strong either. I guess I'll mention Ducklet as well. This is an interesting card for control, discarding a fire energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. You can also discard an energy that's every type, which is fire, of course, because that's a type, like Luminous or Neo Upper Energy, which are mostly played Dragapult, which plays fire energies anyway, so it doesn't actually matter there, but could be interesting. Could be interesting for Expanded as well. Not insane, but did want to mention it here. There is Galvantula, probably not something you're looking to play, but if you're playing Galvan or Joltik with Electric or something, could be interesting. Archeops devolves. There is Zoroark as well. Zoroark is definitely interesting here. Its first attack doing damage based on your opponent's Pokemon. I guess they both are. So they are situational because, or at least your opponent needs to set them up kind of for you. But they won't be able to avoid it completely all the time. It is interesting. It's not amazing. There is another Zoroark as well, which is also okay. I think between the two of them, they're okay. I'm not a huge fan of any of them, but there was some fun stuff going on with the Zoroarks here. But I'm really interested actually in this card specifically, and tell me down below in the comments if you think Zoroark could be good enough, not as a good card, but as an okay card. I'd be pretty surprised if this one became very good. Obviously, it kind of depends on what other decks are. You look at something like Gardevoir EX. Wait, Zoroark actually is going to get into Gardevoir EX, but you look at its other attackers, right? Screamtail or something, it's terrible. So there are some attackers that Zoroark is terrible against, specifically the copying attacks. Then Mind Jack is like kind of meh, not bad, but it's okay. So Zoroark is kind of meta dependent there, more than other cards. Oh, Ignis Strategy we haven't talked about either. This one is 3-color strategy. Would be surprised if this is not like okay at some point, or even good. I mean, right now in the meta, it's okay. It doesn't really have good partners either. I'd be surprised if we never see any good partners though. Ignition Energy, it's a pretty interesting design card, right? Because it's 3 colors. It's very explosive, and Pokemon kind of needs to design their cards pretty carefully here. And I think they have done a good job of that so far. Maybe. I mean, they might design them too carefully, so now they're kind of boring. But anyways, tell me down below in the comments what your thoughts are on Black Ball and White Flare, if you've been impressed by them or not so impressed by them. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, sorry if there's any background noise or weird audio stuff. I'm still getting stuff set up, but I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, all the good stuff. And as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.